Hey everyone. So, being from Virginia and teaching Virginia history to high school students, this activity is really up my alley. So, even it was really difficult for me to narrow down to just one public site. So, I may be cheating just a little by choosing a city or an entire city. Um, but I would love to actually do this with my students, but to take them to Colonial Williamsburg. It has over 300 acres of colonial history. It features more than 40 historic sites, four historic taverns, two art museums, and it's a town where you literally step into colonial history. People are acting as if it really is the 1700s. They are dressed in colonial America, and as colonial Americans, it is one of the oldest permanent establishments in America because it does contain Jamestown. It has one of the first capitals of America. Because around the Civil War, the capital was moved away from Williamsburg, moved to Richmond, Virginia, and then on to Washington, D.C. Uh, so Colonial Williamsburg includes not only Williamsburg, but also Jamestown and Yorktown, which I slightly mentioned just a second ago. Um, so Jamestown, um, being this oldest, the very first permanent establishment in the New World. Um, and then Yorktown being that last battle of the Revolutionary War. So it really kind of has almost all of the colonial era shown inside of this 300 acres of museum, really. So Williamsburg today continues to be, or after that capital was moved, it continued to be a trading center, and today it is one of the biggest cities on the East Coast, Virginia. Um, and then in the 1920s, they began to restore this city to become a colonial museum. The entire historical part of this city began to be restored. They began to restore the buildings and to make it a big tourist attraction. There are people like Winston Churchill who would come to visit Colonial Williamsburg. So it really is an attraction for the world, not just Virginia or the United States. So today they have parades, they have workshops, they have people that are teaching you how to bake the bread or make the cheese the way that the colonists did it back in the 1700s. They really are showing you the craft and interacting with the crowd to get you involved in history. It really is like a living history, living colonial history. So whenever I was searching for a site like this, I really started looking at to take a trip myself to visit this Colonial Williamsburg. So if you would like to visit it, try colonialwilliamsburg.com. It had a lot of the information that I mentioned in the video. It had many different maps, itineraries, and places where you could buy the tickets and some suggestions for activities to do in this uh, city. So thank you guys.